What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a very special new kind of video we're going to be doing here on the channel called r/EntitledParents. I've seen a lot of videos like this on YouTube recently and a lot of people seem to enjoy them, so we're going to try and make one ourselves and see how it turns out. So be sure and let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this, and let's get straight into it. Firstly, I want to apologize for this story not being spectacular like everyone else's stories. You're all getting into crazy situations. Secondly, context. I'm 17 in 11th grade. I'm also a science high school student with decent artistic ability. On the weekdays, I live in another part of the country, in a boarding house, maybe 90 plus kilometers from my home. And so I have to take a bus to return home every Friday as well as every Sunday to get to the boarding house. Now for the school. It's a Friday and I'm at the terminal, which was the entrance to a mall, waiting for the 6 p.m. bus. I was wearing my school hoodie that has the school name and logo on the front. This detail is important. I had bought a sketch pad as well as a full set of graphite pencils, 4H through 4B, with my own savings a few months back. So I took them out and started sketching. The whole time I noticed out of the corner of my eye that there was a young boy, nice boy, or NB, maybe around 8 or 9, watching me draw. I didn't mind. The kid was curious. I actually expected him to come up to me and ask me what I was drawing, to which I would have gladly explained that I was practicing drawing realistic anatomy and shading. What I didn't expect, however, was that his mom, EM, a rather large woman with a haircut that spoke to managers, standing right in front of me and saying, "Excuse me, you're from my school name, right? I can see your jacket." Me, "Yes, I am, miss. Why?" EM, "What are you drawing?" Me, "Excuse me?" EM, "You're a science student, not an art student. You shouldn't be drawing." Me, I'm a tad confused at this point. "Okay, do you need something from me, miss?" Really sternly and a bit loudy, EM says, "Your pencils, give them to my son." Me, really confused now. "Why?" EM, "He wants to draw and he has no pencils." So me, not wanting to make a scene, gave her the H pencil, which I don't often use anyway, as well as a spare eraser on the condition that I would get it before the bus arrived. A bit later, and it's around 10 minutes before the bus is due to arrive, and the other passengers are getting up to wait by the terminal's entrance, I stowed my stuff back in my bag and walked over to EM and her kid. Me, "Excuse me, miss, I'm gonna need my things back now. The bus is almost here." EM, "But you gave this to us." Me, "Yeah, I did. I also said I'd be back for it." To NB, "May I have my pencil and eraser now?" Thankfully, NB was a sensible little boy, and after a small "aw," he handed me the pencil and eraser. I knew this situation would get ugly fast, so I thanked both of them and walked away. When I turned to return to my seat, I felt EM's meaty hand vice gripping my hand, holding the pencil. EM, "Give it back." Me, "Miss, these are my art supplies, and I decide when to stop lending them out." EM's voice was starting to rise. "My son wasn't done drawing." NB, embarrassed, "Mom, it's fine, let him have it." Me, "Sorry, but my bus is almost here and I need my pencils back. Let go of me." EM, "You're a science student. You don't draw." Me, "Not my problem. Let go." EM, "You have more pencils. We're just asking for one." Me, "I need the full set." Her yelling caught the attention of the guard standing nearby. He came over and asked what was wrong. Before I could even get a word in, EM screamed, "This boy stole my son's pencil!" Me, "It's mine and you have no right to demand it from me." Guard, "All right, ma'am, calm down. Sir, can you prove what you're saying?" So I dug my pencil case out from my bag and showed the guard. 4H through 4B, and only the H pencil was missing. He seemed satisfied and told EM to let go of me. Now EM was ticked off. Instead of letting go, she yanked on the pencil hand and I felt the pencil break. The force of her pull had thrown me forward, and when I saw the splintered remains of my pencil, the guard had to hold me back because I was so angry. I admit I lost my cool. It was a pencil that I had saved up for a year to buy. Now, it was broken. In the end, EM was confronted for destroying someone else's property, and I got on the bus with my day ruined. I will say this though, NB's drawings have potential. Well guys, it looks like we learned something new today. If you're a science student, you can't be drawing. If you're a math student, you can't be swimming. Extracurricular activities just don't count anymore. Also, I wonder how EM knew that he was a science student. He says he was a science high school student with a decent artistic ability, but there was really no way for her to know he was a science student. Unless, of course, she saw his textbooks. That might have been it. This encounter happened about 7 months ago. I don't want to insult your intelligence because you most likely already know what EM and me stands for. But I should say that EK in this story stands for embarrassed kid and OG stands for old gentleman, 60-some-year-old guy. The kid was very polite and sorry, so the story isn't about him. Also, I'm translating this in English, so bear with me. A little backstory. About a year ago, I was diagnosed with a cancer of the nasal cavity, stage 2. The tumor was quite large, but thankfully benign. To get it removed, I first had to undergo aggressive chemotherapy to make it smaller. Thanks to the chemo, I had severe alopecia, hair loss, which made most of my hair and even eyebrows and eyelashes fall out. At some point, I had to go bald, but I wore a wig, because I didn't want to look like a skinhead / neo-Nazi. I'm 6'4" and pretty muscular, so I thought people would assume. So once, after a long chemo session in the hospital, I took the bus home. There's only one bus that goes from the hospital to where I live, so I took that one only to see it was absolutely packed. I felt like a beep thanks to the chemo, so I asked a middle-aged dude to let me sit. He was very understanding and gave me a spot without complaining. If you're reading this, thanks bro. 2 stops later, enter EM, a lovely whale with a "I demand a parley with the CEO" haircut and a 12-year-old kid. It took her roughly 5 seconds to see the bus was packed, start looking for a free seat, spot me, and start marching, or in her case, trying to fit in the aisle between the seats while shoving others aside, to me. When I saw her, I knew I was beat. She then stood next to me and decided to talk to me. This is the conversation that followed. "Hey, could you let my kid sit down?" "You mean me?" "Who else?" "Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm on my way from the hospital and..." EM cutting me off. "So are we." Nonsense, the stop was a few kilometers away from the hospital. "My boy just broke his leg and we're coming straight from the ER." Her kid was standing next to her without any support, clearly embarrassed. Me, "He's standing next to you completely fine." "Look here, boy." I am 21 years old. "My kid deserves to sit down." Me, "Look, madam, I'm sorry, but I just got back from a chemo session in the hospital and I need to sit down and rest." I then moved my wig a bit to let her see my bald head. EM then straight up started yelling in my face, "Stop making excuses and get off the beeping seat, you beeping skinhead piece of beep!" At this point, I was baffled. I didn't know what to say. The kid was trying to make his mother stop and we had the attention of the whole bus. She then grabbed me and tried to yank me from my seat. I held on tight and thankfully didn't fall off. Now enter OG, my savior. OG, "Will you shut the beep up, you dumb cow?" "Who do you think you're talking to?" OG with ice cold voice, "Stop assaulting other passengers or I will be forced to step in." Also, every dumb moron could see that the dude has cancer. "No, he's just a beeping skinhead." "He's got no eyebrows, you twat!" Seems like that really offended EM because she spun around on the spot and threw a falcon punch in OG's face. I was shocked and in disbelief. The whole bus was flabbergasted, and the kid probably wished he'd never been born. OG then said something unbelievable and a golden, sweet karma moment followed. "Okay, that does it. Harassing passengers on the bus, physical assault against the passenger, and now assaulting an officer. You're in deep trouble, lady." OG then pulled out a badge and told her to stay where she was. Then he pulled out his phone, called someone, and told her she was being arrested. I couldn't believe it. OG was a bloody cop. At this point, EM was as white as a wall. The bus had just come to a stop, so she decided she'd make a run for it, but other passengers blocked her way. She then also got charged with resisting arrest thanks to this. 3 stops later, a police car was waiting for the EM and EK. EK told me he was sorry for his mother's behavior, and I felt really sorry for the kid. He wasn't a bad child, but his mother was a hellspawn. OG then talked to me and asked me if I wanted to press charges, to which I gladly said yes. Took a statement, and thankfully was kind enough to let me solve everything on the phone so I didn't have to come to the police station for questioning. In the end, EM got some jail time, I think it was a few months, and some community service. I, in return, got a good story to tell and the sweet taste of instant karma. Right now, I'm riding the same bus home as I just got back home from the hospital after a checkup, which reminded me of this. A friend who's sitting next to me told me I should post it here. He, as much as myself, also couldn't believe that such people existed, but it seems I proved it to him. I should also note that the surgery went well. I was declared cancer-free in November and my hair is slowly returning. Also, I don't need to wear a wig anymore. You know guys, I really don't like to say stuff like this, but I really hope that mother lost her parental rights. If you're going around punching police officers in the face, you really shouldn't have the responsibility of raising a child. Thankfully, it seemed at this point the kid hadn't taken to his mother's bad habits, so thank goodness for that. So guys, that was our first episode of r/Entitled Parents. What did you all think? Please leave a comment and let me know, I would appreciate it. If you want to see more videos like this, maybe some r/Choosing Beggars or r/Nice Guys, might be able to make something like that as well. So yeah, all that good stuff. If you see a story that you think belongs in this kind of videos, or just a post or social media feed or whatever, tweet it at me. My Twitter link is down in the description below. Also, please do me a favor and check out my second channel, link down in the description. It's called Cascarte de Utica. It's my personal channel where I make videos about gaming, about how to make tea, about vlogs and studies and all that cool stuff. That'll be down in the description below as well. So thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Until next time, this has been r/Entitled Parents. I'm your host, Cascarte de Utica, aka Cascarte Reacts, and I will see you all at the top.
There goes a sight from my soul.